Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut. I hope you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. So I'm going to have a video on YouTube in a little while about what's going on with Juan Soto. The media's gone full blast on hitting him very hard and unfairly. And there's no worse individuals than those that work at WFAN. They lie. And to be honest with you, all of them lie. Everybody in the media lies. Got my Giants hat on. But they lie all the time about the Mets. And for whatever reason, I would mention this. Any media, I would suggest to the New York Mets moving forward, if you have a media member lying about your players or lying about the ball club, they should be banned for life from the ballpark. Boomer Esiason completely lied about Juan Soto today, I guess, on his garbage, crappy show. Who Imus said that that the biggest failure of his legacy at WFAN was having Boomer take over for him. That's a quote from one of the final shows of Imus on WABC years ago. But this is from Awful Announcing, and Awful Announcing tries to cover up the fact that Boomer said this on his show. Now, I don't watch any of this garbage or listen to this garbage because they don't say anything different. But then you get this nonsense where they make up shit. And they've been making up stuff. The Yankee fans and these anti-Met fans are constantly making up stuff about the Mets. And again, the mantra with the media is whatever the Mets do is wrong, and when they do it right, it's still wrong. The money that Juan Soto is going to be getting from the Mets is going to be so substantially more than the Yankees were willing to offer. But, just look into it. But let's see how Awful Announcing tries to cover up the fact that Boomer lied. Boomer Esiason wrongly suggests Juan Soto doesn't fly with the Mets to road games. Quote, he and his family can get on the private jet and go up to Boston. Well, Jeff Passan posted a tweet, a post on X just a little while ago, saying that the Mets, that he doesn't take a separate plane. He rides with the rest of the team. So this is a lie already. Juan Soto didn't exactly light the world on fire during his return to Yankee Stadium over the weekend. Back in the Bronx for the first time since spurning the Yankees and signed a record-breaking... This is how pissed off the Yankee fans and all the Yankee lovers have been. Is that Steve Cohen and Juan Soto completely broke them. Bob Klapisch did an article, which was part of the attack on him, said earlier, he was comparing to Jose Altuve. Oh, Jose Altuve eats the lunch of the Yankees. Kicks their ass all the time. That's a terrible comparison. You're trying to say something nasty about Soto. To cap it off, he didn't run. We do know about them not running late in the game on a ground ball. It was a very strange game for the Mets, to be honest with you, last night. That's more of an optics problem than a performance issue, but it was enough to rile up the New York media machine and bullshit machine. Boomer Norman Esiason, who was known here on the Baseball Hut, for one, had plenty to say about it on Monday morning on WFAN. I had not read this. So I only read the headline. I'm reading this as we go along. Quote, I should do the Boomer voice, where he talks like this. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the NFL. You could do that. Get that poor guy a lozenge, for God's sake. Juan Soto just had a brutal 3 games, Esiason said Monday morning. He could smile all he wants. He could take his helmet off and acknowledge I thought that was great. And acknowledge the booze all he wants on Friday night. At the end of the day, it was a bad weekend for him. So now he and his family can get on a private jet, go up to Boston. That was just interesting. That Carl Ravage said that part of it yesterday. Here's the thing. This article says. But Ravage didn't actually say Soto wasn't flying with the team. What he did say on ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball is that Soto's contract includes family-oriented perks. Specifically, charter flights for his family to attend road games. It's part of the broader pitch the Mets made, according to Soto, positioning themselves as a player and family-friendly organization. And even what he did say about Soto's travel perks was entirely accurate either. Well, the media lied. That's just another way of saying the media lied. Really, you don't say. Despite implying during the ESPN broadcast that Soto's contract includes charter flights for his family, that's simply not true, according to ESPN's MLB insider Jeff Passan. Quote, to clear up what others have asserted, Juan Soto does not fly separately from his New York Mets teammates on a private jet. He flies on the team plane. There is no private jet provision in his contract for him and his team. So ESPN lied and WFAN lied. Both Steve and Alex Cohen have fully embraced Soto and his inner circle, but that embrace doesn't mean Soto gets to operate as a one-man show, flying separately from his teammates whenever he wants, at least not based on anything Ravage said. But that wasn't the only exaggeration. Now, they're going to attack Ravage, because most people don't like him, But let's get back to the rest of this. Science's WFAN co-host Greg Giannotti claimed he heard Ravage say Soto was begging to get the mic off and desperately trying to back out of being featured during ESPN's in-game. That is the worst feature that ESPN has. It's talking to the players in the middle of the game. It's stupid. It's stupid. Okay? And to be honest with you, Barstow only posted that they were going to talk to him and they were going to ask him about Horseface Aaron Judge. Who cares? Who cares? Let me continue. That's not what Ravage said. He said Soto pulled out about 45 minutes before first pitch and Brandon Nimmo filled in. I'd rather listen to Brandon than listen to Soto. That's, what's the big deal? You don't have to talk. And again, I'll say this. If you are the New York Mets or any team, you don't have to talk to the media. And if the media is lying about you, okay, if you know that a media person is lying about the ball club, is lying about about a player that's on your team, you can ban them from the ballpark forever. Boomer Esiason and a lot of these people at WFAN lie about the Mets. Boomer, who, by the way, attacked Steve Cohen because something happened with his other business, said he wanted to know what was going on with this man's business that had nothing to do with sports or baseball, and he wasn't going to go back to the ballpark unless he found out. Did he go back to the ballpark? This is Boomer saying he wasn't going to go back. Did he go back? Of course he went. But you know what? If you feel that way, Boomer, the Mets should oblige him completely and ban him from the park. Ban his show from the park. Greg Giannotti, you can't go into the ballpark because your partner, your business partner, your on-air partner, your boss, said something stupid. And this is the Boomer and Gio show. So Boomer is the headliner on the show. Okay? So the whole thing is that this is what the media has done to the Mets for 35 plus years. Whatever the Mets do is wrong, and when they do it right, it's still wrong. They sign Juan Soto, that's the wrong thing to do. The Yankees didn't sign Juan Soto. Oh, that's a good thing. Oh, this guy's doing great. Max Fried's going to get hurt. I'm going to guarantee you that. He will spend time on the injured list this year because that's his routine. But look what they're saying about the Yankees. Well, it's a good thing they signed all that. They signed him to that big, Soto that big contract. All the players that they signed, they're all doing great. It's May. Again, it's May 19th or 19th. It's May 19th. And the insanity and this sort of, wait a minute, there's more to read here. Remember when the Yankees were saying, we're not going to give Juan Soto a suite because we don't give our players suites. Who knew that Soto was getting a private jet on top of all of this to away games? The point being is that if Juan Soto's putting up huge numbers and Juan Soto's coming through, nobody really cares about that. Then all of a sudden, when that doesn't happen and somebody else is coming for a contract extension, the Mets treat that guy like crap compared to what the guy thinks Juan Soto has. That's where the schism happens. Well, this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. This is all nonsense. Complete total monkey crap from the media and from WFAN. WFAN has gotten away with verbal murder for 35 years. And they've gotten away with so much stuff, nobody, and the host means nobody, calls them out except for one person in a way that they will understand it very, very succinctly. And that is me, your humble and wonderful host, known as the Baseball Hut.